morning, everyone. Welcome to the Open Space channel. This is the morning emission of the Wednesday, 20th of May, and we're going to have a conscious school workshop. My name is Iris, and this is Fernando.
Morning.
We're going to guide you together through this conscious school workshop, and we have a very exciting topic today. It's compassion. Fernando, what does compassion mean for you?
Okay, now we were actually talking before starting the mission broadcast, and I would really like to go there into the energy of the word compassion, taking into account that in conscious school what we normally do is but basically working with words, entheogenic words. So I would really like to go through the different meanings that we can have from the word compassion and see, as we say normally in conscious school, to redefine the word, to clean this word from the different meanings that we have in daily life. Or especially I was thinking in psychology, in the medical field also, working with passion and everything that comes from that word, like we were talking before, like illness, diseases and stuff. So compassion, in my case, I like starting, like separating this word into calm. I don't know if in English is the same. In Spanish we can play with these divisions, and it's calm and passion, and go into the energy of the word passion. Normally the word passion comes from like an energy that moves us, that it's related to emotions, feelings, and it's related to something that drives you and that we think we cannot control. We are the effect of this emotion or of this feeling. And then
on the contrary, if we go back to connect to the energy of the word compassion, what we normally think it is, would be then, if you have a strong emotion that I feel with you, but oftentimes from this place of pity, no? So it's often something like, oh, I pity you and I feel with you. And for me that's very interesting how this word is oftentimes misunderstood in how we use it in everyday life, because to me it has nothing to do with pitying someone. I can feel your passion without the need to suffer, or without the need to think that you are suffering, even though maybe you are. Well, suffering is a whole different topic. I just realized we opened a box here.
No, but actually it's if we go to the meaning of the word passion, you have different definitions or ideas, and one is suffering. It's an emotion, an effect, or suffering. And also, now that you said the word pity, compassion normally is also related to, in the religious field or religion field, it's connected with, as you said, pity, mercy. It's like there's someone that has something and someone that doesn't have anything, and you are giving because it's like also connected with solidarity. You giving something that you have to someone that doesn't have it. But and it's related with hierarchy.
Well, it could come from solidarity, but if it comes from hierarchy, it comes from the feeling of superiority.
Yes.
You are suffering and I'm better than you, so I give you compassion. That's very
But
interesting.
that's one meaning.
Yeah.
That's why, as I said at the beginning, we can start cleaning, let's say,
Exactly.
this word from these
Yeah.
different ideas that we can, because it's like an energy. And as we said, the word is alive. So we really need to go into the consciousness of that word.
Yeah. I would like to say one, like when we talked about suffering, what came to me is how you went from passion to compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And then if suffering would be like if there's a pain,
Mm-hmm.
the suffering, the pain would be a fact, and then from the passion there would be a suffering. Like if in the part of the passion there would be a suffering, like a strong emotion.
Mm-hmm.
If I am in that place of passion, how would that turn out if I go to compassion, if there's a pain? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's interesting what you're saying. I like playing with as I said before starting the program. I like playing with this, with the word and the, how do you say in English, like the prefix and the suffix of the word. And maybe we're gonna jump now. Let's say to the conclusion, then we can come back and
Let's
play.
jump.
When I think of the word compassion within the context of conscious school, it's somehow that you are not the effect of an emotion or a feeling in a passive way, but you integrate. It's not you also. It's something that manifests and you become everything. And I like the idea. There's an meditation, an Osho meditation in Spanish. So I don't know if it's in English. And Osho basically talk about passion and compassion. And saying, connecting also the passion with the energy of the root, and that this evolves through compassion, like the idea of being one. I mean, not being one, being separated from everything, being a victim of emotions, and he also talked about the fragrance of a flower. So it's like, coming from the root and evolving through compassion. And also in that metaphor, the idea of this fragrance, it's something that is not your fragrance, it's not you, but more like you're a channel of something else, bigger than us, or bigger than I or you. And it's not about suffering. The suffering becomes creativity. Become you being the not you, but let's say you being the cause of something bigger.
Suffering oftentimes leads to creativity, no? There are lots of very beautiful love songs, poems. So suffering can be a creative energy. It can be something that can be enjoyed.
And also, now that you said that, when we are victim of an illness, this is an idea. I'm not saying, I don't want to generalize, but when you're suffering, when you are a patient, passive, you are not creating. You're not creative. Let's say if you play with the word, you are more like, in a passive attitude,
You're waiting.
Like being the effect of an emotion or a situation in your life, driven by something that is overwhelming, and
if you are the effect, the victim of an illness, you are suffering. I love the connection with the word patient. I've never seen the root of it.
We have our notebook here. I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah,
patient.
write it down. Patient. Yeah.
So maybe if you agree, I can write down on the board these two words, passion and compassion, so we can start sharing we have our triangle here, conscious school. So
yeah.
Would you maybe explain a bit about these triangles, the one looking downwards and the other, maybe if you want to explain?
Yeah. For those who haven't connected a lot with conscious school yet, you might not be familiar with the triangles that we're using in our school. And the triangle is something it's like a geometrical figure that we are using to support us in connecting to comprehending concepts in a way that can lead to comprehensions. And we work with two different triangles, one pointing downwards, and that is usually a triangle that is leading us to be more connected to the limitation, but also it could be connected to the earthly part, to the human part, like to the part that connects us to the life here on earth. And then the one that points upwards is usually a triangle that is more pointing towards the sky, to the divinity, to the potential, to the limitlessness.
Yeah.
And this is also now indicated by the arrow that you put there. Passion and compassion.
Yeah, it's also playing with these words, passion and compassion, and observing this arrow. Okay. It comes the word. Okay, here comes this arrow going upwards. It's like becoming is the word. It's coming to my mind. Becoming passion, becoming compassion. It's like evolving. It's like the seed in the ground. When you put the seed in the ground, would be like passion, and after a process of evolution or inner evolution, it becomes compassion.
To me, that's a very interesting point to use to mention that without passion, there wouldn't be compassion.
Yes.
And this would be to go back to the importance of having these two triangles, one pointing downwards and one upwards. Without the part that connects us to the limitation, to the human, we cannot connect to the potential, to the divine. And this is also for me, to comprehend this concept has to do with compassion. Because if we are very much connected to the limitation, very much connected to the human part, and if we go to that place where we start to judge ourselves because of some feeling or something, then this can lead to the demonization, how Alberto called it, of the ego. And this would be interesting to reconnect to the idea of the necessity of having the ego and the necessity to have a limitation to be able to transcend it.
Yes, yes, I like that. Um, yeah, actually, also maybe we can also normally in conscious school I'm just checking the camera. um, we play with these triangles in order. Alberto normally says that we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, and it's like a code that if we match these words, or we put them in order, like a portal opens to comprehension.
Magical.
And I like what you were saying about the ego and the I, because if I'm thinking about now some religions or ideas that says that no, the body is the jail. Is it jail? Cárcel?
Yes.
So, and you don't have to pay attention to your body. The body is the jail of the soul. It's like, so you have to reject your body and your emotions and your passions. And we are generating this spiritual bypass or intellectual bypass. I like that much more. Avoiding our emotions and starting to believe that we are enlightened. We transcended these emotions and passions, and we reject our I, our ego, which is a very useful tool that we have. So if you agree, we can add these words in order to go together and observe how we play with these triangles, with these words, to come to the final comprehension, which is just a door to continue.
What I was wondering, whether you prefer to first develop the down pointing triangle, or whether you prefer to first have the one here and then the opposite. I don't know what's the more natural way. How would you start now, naturally?
I would start by talking about the I.
And then
also taking into account that during this week with Alberto, we were developing this idea that when we are born, we come from zero. He was saying we come from the unity, from the existence, which is everything. And we also at the beginning, we are part of our mother, the mother, in one. So from zero, from everything or nothing, we become one. And there's a moment when we separate from our mother, and that process is not just by being born, but it's also a psychological process of separation. And that's when the I appears, let's say. So what I'm trying to say is that from this everything, the process to become one, to become I, Fernando, Argentinian, everything that I believe I am. So we can start with that point and to see where we are gonna end this program today. So I can. I, right?
Yeah, go with the I.
So this passion connected to the I.
For me, one important word to put as well would be identification.
Identification.
Because when I am identified with passion, I become passion, basically. And then I come to the point of believing I cannot escape it. I have to do this now because it's my passion. It's my, I cannot avoid expressing this.
Wow. Yeah, when you say that I cannot avoid it, it's really tricky. what I felt. No, when we talk about this potential, when we talk about that this fragrance, sometimes we get confused, and it's like, no, I have to do this because this is me, or as you said, this is my passion.
Totally.
Okay, identification. So identification.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So this is how we play the game. The game of comprehension. Yeah, and I like the word effect in this vortex, or how do you say, like la punta?
We said vortex.
Vortex. Okay.
Yeah.
When I am my passion, which is not mine, I'm the effect. I cannot decide. This is totally unconscious. We actually wrote unconscious identification because it's like you cannot choose. You are overwhelmed and you are driven by this force. And also I like the word reaction. It's like action and reaction in the sense like there's no decision, conscious decision. It's like, no, I'm just doing this because I am possessed by this energy or this emotion.
Yeah.
So if you agree, I can also maybe write effect.
Effect. I think effect and reaction could be nice to write them.
Effect with double F?
Yeah. Yeah, so then in that moment, I would be the effect of my passion, and passion would be the cause of everything I do, basically. So in this connection, the cause is in the passion.
Yeah. And now that you said that, it also came to me the idea of the past and the future. Because if I am the effect of a passion, of an emotion, I am connected with the past. And I am the past. I mean, this lineal idea of, there's something first and something as a consequence. So it's this idea of time, first and second. So I'm the second,
Yeah, and first there's the passion. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I would jump here if you agree. I know that
Yeah, I feel also nice. Yeah.
So if there is an me being an effect of a passion, normally we also talk that I am driven by this emotion that is like pushing me towards something, like I'm feeling attracted by something else, and also again I'm not deciding. I am attracted by. I am not the one who decides. And to be the cause of that attraction is like, no, I can't stop it. It's like, it's like, so there is an I attracted by a you. Another. Separated from me. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a job, it could be an idea, it could be,
Yeah. And in that moment, the attraction that you feel is the cause of the other.
Wow.
So in that moment, the passion is the effect of the other.
So we can add other.
Other.
Can you repeat that again?
In that moment that I am attracted by you, my passion is the effect of you, and you are the cause.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. So this kind of like this,
Yeah.
and then you're attracted by. I mean, you're driven.
Yeah. You're driven.
This. So this would be the cause, the source. Cause.
The cause.
The cause.
Yeah, the cause. Oh, and in that moment, even the other is the effect of my identification. When?
Yeah. You can develop that if you want.
Yeah, we could.
So, yeah, here we have. There is an other, which is the cause of this passion, and I'm an effect of that passion that is driven me without any decision towards an other. And that's like a cycle, like a loop, a never-ending loop. If we see that, it's like a circle.
I find really important to highlight the part of the no decision, because I'm not deciding anything and I become the effect of my life.
When you said that now, life, you said I am the effect of my life. So it's not my life if I cannot decide. So whose life I'm living? Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
I would like to invite the audience, either at home or also here. We have some guests like Kati and Ciro. If you connect with something that maybe you would like to share, that would be great. Also people at home, because this is also something I'd like to highlight, that we are not here teaching anything. There's no possibility. I mean, that's again an old idea. And again, you will become the effect of something that is outside. And we know in conscious school and in retreats, we are creators. So we are all involved in this manifestation, or so that would be great. If you would like them to also add something, please feel free to manifest.
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
I always, when we touch the subject of being the creator, it gives me like a fuzzy feeling, like a strange feeling, because or maybe like 6 months ago, that word, it means something different that what I'm feeling now about being the creator. Like in this moment, being the creator is also really connected to being taking charge of all the things that I think, that I feel, how I relate with others, and it's a really tough process. Because it's like having a mirror here. All the life, like I feel like the mirror was really far away, and it was very easy to project into other what I feel in that moment. But now it's like having the mirror right here, and and it's really difficult to project. I still do it, but it's really more difficult to do it because it's like the projection have like this distance and when it comes back it's more strong, the feeling of the recognition of that. Then it's like a loop, more strong than ever before. So in one of the schools that Alberto gave and talk about being the creator, I don't know if the organization it's agree with this, but being the creator is like, to me, in the very deep, is like, well, I'm God. I'm God. I don't gonna try to I don't know how to say, put it in other words to be more
Light.
Yeah, because whenever you say, well, in the very deep I'm God, there is some kind of neurosis thoughts that can be triggered because we have the word God associated with very different things that are separated things. Like God is always outside. So if I connect with that idea, it gives me like a shiver in the skin. And I like that feeling. I'm not quite often have that feeling that when I really connected, it's very powerful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, thank you very much, because now I add in the one of the vortex, I add, when we have this other, the word other here. Now I added God and outside, and that's the cause of a passion and me being the effect. I mean, I, as an identification, I being the effect of God, and I am the creature. I wrote here the word creature, not creator. You know, I am the artwork, we can say, which is a nice word, but actually I'm a creature, like a mini monster. You know, I'm the effect of someone else's idea that is outside of me. And again, we can play with the word inside, outside, you, I, cause and effect. And also when you were talking, I was feeling, I remember this mechanism, because it's a mechanism of pointing out, like me being the effect of a situation outside that needs to change in order for me to live in peace. Like I cannot decide, the situation outside needs to change, So till you don't stop doing this, Iris, I'm not gonna be happy, because it's clearly up to you that you love me the way I want to be loved. So thank you very much, Cira, because I connected. We connected with that.
I also would like to go back to another thing you said, Ciro, is projection. This is the same thing, I'm projecting on the outside to look for a solution. But we're doing the same thing with the passion. When my passion depends on the other, I am projecting my desire on the other, instead of taking charge of my desire being mine, in a way. So it's like it's again the projection pointing outwards, and the idea that my passion depends on the other, which is a misunderstanding.
So basically we now finished, let's say, the one of the triangle, the one that is looking downwards. And so we have in one vortex, let's say, the I, identification, effect, reaction, no decision, creature. And if it's like a mirror, on the other side of the mirror, which is an illusion, we have the other or the other. We have the cause, the action, the outside, God. And with these two energies, basically we go downwards towards passion, this emotion. So when we can go to the other triangle, looking upwards.
Yeah, let's go.
To see how it goes. Normally in conscious school, when we play this game of comprehension, when we have these words, in this case the word I, or the word identification, which is in one vortex, we try to focus our energy in the word that would be opposite to that one, as a complement. So if we have identification, we have here our notes. Normally we will start saying like the contrary would be disidentification. We can start with that if you want.
We can start with that, yeah, and then I think it's the most comprehensible. For me, disidentification was for a long time the most complicated to comprehend what it means. For a long time, I believed it is just observation. Until I realized that the observation needs to take you to the point eventually of realizing that what I'm observing is not who I am, or that what I'm observing is not what I am. It can be an emotion, it can be a passion, it can be an idea that I have, it can be my thoughts. But for a long time I used to think that by observing I'm already taking myself out. But it was clearly it was an illusion. And for me, the disidentification is what you is related to what you talked about before when we talked about the demonization of the body in the religions, because there you could also fall into the trap of believing that you're de-identifying yourself from the body by saying this is not me, this is not, I don't want to follow that, I don't want to take care of it, and that is exactly what then brings you to the intellectual bypass. By creating another idea about yourself, by identifying with another idea about yourself, you make yourself believe that you have de-identified. But it's just a re-identification, basically.
Yeah, very interesting. I like when you said that I'm not my passion, I am observing my feelings, my emotions. Because when we are there inside of that emotion, and when you are identified with that emotion, it could be love, it could be rage, it could be sadness. You become that emotion. It's like I am sad.
Mm-hmm.
Also in English is interesting the phrase I am sad, I am angry, I am in love. The tool observation there is interesting. And also thinking about this identification as a process.
And it's beautiful how language can give us an idea on how identified we are and the way we speak to each other, to ourselves. When I say I am sad, or if I say I feel sad. And by that I can, during the day, I can already observe and maybe change the way I speak to myself, which might give me a handle to start slowly changing the script of how I speak to myself and what's written.
I like that as a script, as a text to write. When we in the vortex where we have identification, it's like to put I am sad, and in the vortex opposite to it, we can write I feel sad.
Yeah.
Or I feel sadness.
I feel sadness.
Yeah. It's a way to start this process of this identification. And also, when you said that, it came to me when you get up in the morning, and maybe you said, I am sad today. It's like you are creating the whole day to keep this energy of sadness, and you being totally identified with that feeling.
Totally.
But by saying I feel sadness, you enter more into the consciousness that is a state that may or may not change. For sure it will.
Yeah.
And you are allowing this evolution, this transformation. So I am sad.
Disidentification. Yeah.
And now just the phrase we will see, I feel sadness.
And then while you're there, looking at the other words that we're having there, reaction, no decision, and creature, would then directly apply that we say, if I'm disidentified, I become the creator, I can act instead of react, and I can decide.
You said action.
Action.
And decision.
And decision, yeah. And for me, looking at a reaction is something very powerful, because every time that I react quickly to something, it gives me a hint of the identification that I'm in. Because if I have the need to react, it comes from something that I believe to be. And if I can face the situation with calmness, without the need to react quickly, I can be in consciousness, and I can act and create a situation. instead of just being the reaction and the effect of the situation.
I will share something that happened this morning, connected with what you're saying, decisions and being the effect. We are living here in Madrid in a community, in a comuna, and it's related to that. It's very interesting, this experience of living with 30, 35 people in the same house. But giving us the opportunity to observe everything and not being the effect of all our emotions and our feelings. Of course we are, as Ciro was saying many times, we are the effect of emotions, we are driven by them. But here in the community, in the communa, we have the opportunity to first to manifest everything or anything that we may feel. But we know we support each other, and whatever we manifest, it's like, I don't know how to say it, but in this case, if I'm reacting, maybe Iris, you will in a way show me as a mirror to observe what is happening. And also, as Ciro was saying, to stop projecting on the other the cause of something that I am suffering. And so I wanted to share that this opportunity and experience of living in a community is beautiful. So I invite everyone who would like to come. You can join us in Madrid or in Ireland or in Italy, Buenos Aires, in Argentina. We have houses all around the world, so you can contact us. And I wanted to share something that happened this morning. Someone here in the community that came from another country, just not to say where, and he said today, okay, I'm leaving tomorrow, and I want to say some names. Okay, this person was talking with Paula Sabelli, with Paula, and he was saying, no, I'm gonna leave tomorrow. But this person is working here with us, and he committed with an activity for at least 1 or 2 weeks, and suddenly he decided that this is time to leave. And this is so interesting because now, at that moment, Paula Sabelli came and started talking with him and confronting, we use that word, in the sense of showing to him where is this decision coming from, from which part of him. And it was very interesting because he started to observe in order not to be the effect of something from outside. And he started realizing that, okay, no, this is just a mechanism, again, to avoid going through something important, to become the cause of my life.
Oh, wow.
It's like he said, no, yeah, I was deciding because my girlfriend, whatever, blah, 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 the story. And he said, no, okay, yeah. By making the decision of staying and finish my activity, or it's going against of what I was doing my whole life, and in the process of this identification, it's going on at that moment. So it's very, very interesting. And I wanted just to share this example of what we live every day here in our community.
After the emission, I'm going to ask you who it was. So we have just 5 minutes left, and I would hate to leave this emission without finishing the last vortex point.
We can do that. Would you?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, when you look at the part that we call the other, the vortex on the upper right part, the other, it would be the idea of being separated. The idea of being separated from the outside. And if we focus on the energy, that would be the contrary, the opposite of this energy would be to not be separated, to be unified.
Or integrated.
Integrated, yeah, to be one with the outside. So then we could put in that vortex, we could say unity, and it would be I am everything.
And the word compassion from that perspective changes totally. When I recognize myself as being part of everything, it's not about feeling sympathy for someone else or pity or mercy and all this hierarchy and stuff we were talking. It's like me feeling being part of everything. So anything that I decide, it's not like believing that you are separated from me and you are suffering, so I have something to give to you. It's not that logic, it's not that idea. It's also Alberto and Sergio was saying that it's not about compassion, it's about self-compassion. It's we are changing now the meaning of that word by the idea is not I'm feeling compassion for you. Actually, it's for myself, but not separated from everything. It's like, okay, I'm missing a bit there.
It would be the realization that I am you. And so if you feel sad, I feel sad, and then I can have compassion with myself, and there's no projection happening in that moment. Then I can connect to that feeling that you have and maybe be there, whatever. But by knowing that I'm not separate, I feel with you.
And it's also connected with the idea of the look. It's how I look to everything. If it's I'm looking to you as something separated from me, or I am diving, I don't know how to say in English, like to sumergir, not to dive into everything and looking with purity. Looking to everything with purity or pureness. I don't know if the word pureness exists. Yes, this is the idea of compassion, looking with purity to everything. I'm having this idea because in an integration, for example, when we are in the role of an integrator, we are here open to receive others, participants' words, let's say, and looking at them with compassion, with purity, without judgment. And the process of transformation starts at that point.
When you talked about the look, what came to me is that compassion is nothing that you do, basically. It's an attitude. It's a state. And from that comprehension, you can see that it's not directional like passion. Passion goes from me to you, but compassion is just mine. It doesn't have have a direction. It's just something that is in me, that is a state, an attitude. I said that before.
Yeah, I like that idea of a direction, again, cause and effect. And the compassion, it's more like it's an expansion in the sense of it's going inwards, outwards, everywhere, like in every direction, and which is not explainable in this 3D dimension or 3D. It's really something more. I think we have the bigger picture of this.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Fernando.
Thank you very much.
That was beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for being here with us. And if you have any questions, doubts, please contact us. We would love to hear from you, to be in touch. And you might even suggest a topic for one of the next emissions. And yeah, we can go this path together.
Thank you very much for being
you.
there, and hope to see you soon. Thank you, Edith.
Thank
Hi, Edith.
you.